All right, let's dive right into something I think you'll find fascinating, this idea of winsome comfort. So, what is it? Well, you know that feeling when you're just so completely at ease in your own skin, so comfortable that you actually become appealing to other people, but without even trying? That's it. That's the goal. So let's figure out how we get there.
So first things first, let's break down that word winsome. Now, this isn't about being the loudest person in the room or, the most flashy. Not at all. It's much simpler. It just means being, well, cheerful, pleasant, and appealing, but, and this is the key, in a totally natural, unforced way. That's the quality we're really chasing here.
Okay, before we get any deeper, I want you to do something for me. Just take a second and think about this. When have you felt most naturally comfortable in your own skin? Seriously, think about it. Maybe it was hanging out with a close friend, or maybe you were totally lost in a hobby you love, or hey, maybe it was just a quiet moment all by yourself. Got it? Good. Hold on to that feeling, because that's basically our North Star for this whole explainer.
So let's frame this as a kind of personal quest for comfort. And our journey, well, it's going to take us down two really distinct paths.
All right, first up we have Path 1, the self. This is all about how we master that feeling of comfort from the inside out.
Okay, and here's a really crucial idea. That natural comfort you see in other people, the kind you really admire, it's not some secret gift they were born with. No way. It's a skill. And just like any other skill, you build it through practice. Simple as that. Repetition is strength. So how does that actually work in practice? Well, you start with simple repetition. You just practice an action over and over and over again until it starts to feel effortless, It just becomes second nature. And over time, doing this builds what's called a spectrum of comfort. Think of it like a foundation of ease that you can stand on, even when you're dealing with huge, complex topics. Now that sounds pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Just practice. But if it's really that simple, why isn't everyone walking around feeling comfortable all the time? That's a great question, and it brings us to something called the persistence principle. This explains why practice is simple in theory, but not always so easy in reality. And here we have the core paradox of the whole thing. In theory, yeah, technically anyone can do it. Anyone can practice and build that comfort. But the reality, not everybody does. So what gives? What's the missing piece of the puzzle here? What separates the idea from the actual doing? Well, here's the answer. It's not just about practice. It's about persistence. It's about your ability to withstand failures along the way, because you will fail. It's that willingness to just stick to it no matter how long it takes. That's the thing that trips most people up. Persistence, not just practice, is the real game changer on this first path. Okay, so we've established the importance of that internal work, right? The persistence. But of course, we don't live in a vacuum. And that brings us perfectly to Path 2, the tribe. This is all about finding comfort through our connections with other people. That internal practice we just covered, that gets you ready. But this is where it all comes alive. You see, social comfort is at its absolute peak when you're surrounded by like-minded people. I love how it's put here. When you find your tribe, it's like talking with yourself. Think about that. Suddenly, there's no friction. You don't have to explain yourself all the time. There's just this instant ease that comes from being on the same wavelength.
And your tribe, they do something incredibly powerful for you. They lift you up. First off, they feel what you feel. That creates such a strong bond. They accentuate you upward, which is a great way of saying they bring out your absolute best self. And maybe most importantly, they empathize. They just get it. And check out that last point. This is so important. Your tribe doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody is. It's their ability to connect with you that truly maximizes your own comfort.
So, we've walked down these two paths, right? The internal one of persistence and practice, and the external one of connection and tribe. And when those two paths meet, the result is the ultimate reward of this whole quest. And it's something incredibly simple. The power of a smile.
And really, this is the destination we've been aiming for. A simple, genuine smile. It's the outward sign of all that inner comfort you've practiced. And it's amplified by that amazing feeling of being understood by your tribe. That smile is winsome comfort. It's pleasant, it's appealing, and wow, just like the quote says, sometimes that small smile can be the loudest voice in the entire room. So I'll leave you with this final thought. You basically have the map now. The two paths, practice and tribe, they're laid out right in front of you.
So the only real question left is, where are you going to begin? What small smile, one that comes from a place of real comfort, what small smile can you share today?